Hello, this review is for the game Gunrunners. In this game, players act as international police in pursuit of the Merchant of Death. The goal is to confiscate weapons by deploying agents to locations known for illegal arms trading. I just read it off the rules. It was just easier than describing the game, to be honest. In this game, like I said, at the end of the game, whoever has the most weapons in their possession, they are represented by crates. There's single crates. There's also larger crates that are considered as 5, which basically can be exchanged when you run out of crates. This game is to be played between 2 to 4 players, and it takes about 30 to 45 minutes. Right, so on the top we have basically the, not exactly the turn order thing, is any time that there's a bust done, which I'll explain what it means, the marker moves forward. As soon as the marker gets to the last spot, which is 7th spot, then the game is over after the last bust. So what we do here, according to the number of players, this setup is for 3 players, 2 or 3 players. For each player you place a location card, which there it's basically a location where there are hidden weapon crates, and at the bottom there's a warehouse where the extra crates are being stored if they're not in any location. There are 4 different decks, different colors, that each player chooses the color that they want. The cards are basically all the same. Oops, did I show it correctly in front of the camera? So you can see there's different colors. There's this color, and each color has a set of cards from 1 to 7, I think, or something like that, which is the number basically represent the strength of the card. Some cards have a special ability, which I'll explain in just a little bit. Some of them do not. At the beginning of the game, whomever is being the first player goes by placing an agent card, a number 1 card, on the left side, which is basically a probationary agent, an agent that is being in training. Let's reorganize this a little bit. Alright. And that's done in turn, and I'll just go ahead and just place random cards in here. Let's see. And let's pretend there's another card in here. Alright. So a player at its turn has the option either to replace a probationary officer of another player on the left side, and the reason you replace is because you can have only 1 probationary officer at a location. Let's set up the cards this way. How about that? This would look actually better, and probably should be set up like that anyway. Alright. So you have the ability to either place an agent replacing of another player's probationary officer, which in that case the probationary officer finished his training and moved to the field and acts as an under agent cop, which actually, I take it back. The moment you replace a card, that card moves to the other side and is being revealed so we can see its strength and everything like that. This is one action you can take. Another action is you can place an undercover cop or agent of any cards that you choose from your hand anywhere, and that's going to be an undercover. Now I should mention that you do have a starting hand of, I believe that's 5 cards or something like that, which you replenish after every time you place a card or execute. So this is how the game keeps on going and moving on. But at the beginning of your turn, after the initial setup, you roll a die. If a number comes up that is higher than the total number of the locations, you take a crate and you add it to the warehouse. You do it only once per turn at the beginning of your turn. If you roll a number and it comes up to be, let's say 3, then you take a crate from the supply and you add it to the location, the third location from top, 1, 2, 3. If it happens that you have, let's say 3 crates at some point at the warehouse because you rolled higher than the numbers that are available in the field, and at some point a player rolls 1, he takes 1 from the supply, add this guy here, add the 3 from there. If at any time at the beginning of a player's turn the warehouse is full, before rolling we take 1 crate and add to a location. That's how we do it. Also at the beginning of your game, at the initial setup, each location receives 4 crates. Indeed, 4 crates. So, what happens later on? Let's pretend, let's just play an imaginary game. It's really just like this. Let's imagine this guy comes here, and this guy comes here and adds a card like that. This guy come here, and again, remember they can replace cards only of another player. Alright, now what happens is when a card is being flipped this way and has an ability, the owner of this card, the player of this card can as an option decide to execute the special ability, which on this card, let's see if you can see that clearly, come on, the ability here is move 2 crates from a location to another location. So this is a strategic move that you decide to do. If you think, for example, that at the time of a bust, which again I'll explain a bit later, you have an advantage to that you think that you might be able to get the crates here or here. Let's imagine here you can grab 2 crates from one spot, move it to another spot, and then the game goes on until, and I'll just set it up, until at some point there are 4 cards that are being revealed at one location. As soon as this happens, we are going to flip all of the cards at that location and then compare the total numbers of each one. I should say, when you flip a card this way at the time of a bust, this is considered a bust when there's 4 exposed cards, the special ability does not apply. So in this case, the red player has 15 points versus 2, so he gets the majority of what's going on here. And the way that it happens is you divide the total number of crates, which in this case is 6, and you take a half of it. That player takes a half. Whatever is left, you round it, I believe, down. You divide that, rounding down, and then the second player here takes half of that one. And this, I believe, remains here. After this action, we move the marker, we progress that. Then we do some replenishing act. I'm not going to look at the instructions at the moment, but I believe it works this way. And these cards are being discarded, and the game continues. And like I said, until we reach the 7th bust, which in that case, whomever has the most crates wins the game. There are some additional rules that let you maybe give more points or something like that, tiebreakers, etc. But this is really the quick walkthrough of this game. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe and like this video. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.